You look at how they treated Michelle Bachmann. She jumped up and was the leader for a while. And what type of questions did she get from the mainstream media in a debate? Miss Bachmann, do you submit to your husband? Now, what does that have to do with that woman's capacity to run the country? Did anyone ever ask Hillary Clinton, did she submit to Bill Clinton? No. And Lord help you if you had ever asked Maxine Waters or any other black female Democrat, do you submit to your husband? But it's fair game to ask a white Christian woman who's a conservative Republican, do you submit to your husband? Totally taking scripture out of context. Totally. And these silly Republicans don't know how to fight these Democrats. They don't know how to fight them. You know, these Democrats don't care about what's fair, what's right, what's good, what's decent. They don't care. And so you got to fight these people as though you're fighting Al-Qaeda. You know, you can't bake cookies for these people. These people are your enemy, Republicans. When are you going to wake up? They don't care. And so they took her out. They try to say she's unqualified to be president. She's crazy. She's this. And it's always the same old game. Okay. Next one that popped up was Rick Perry. Of course, Rick Perry shot himself in the foot. They didn't have to do a whole lot to him. They just gave him a little bit of rope. He hung himself. That was the end of it. Next one was Herman Cain. And oh Lord, Herman Cain did so well. I think Herman Cain surprised everybody. I'm gonna tell you the truth, folks. Herman Cain probably even surprised himself somewhat. Okay. And people just respond so well. People are so sick and tired of politicians in general that even the good politicians get tarred unfairly in some instances with a very, very broad brush. And, you know, they just respond when someone who is a non-politician that has a record of excellence. Okay, this was a man born dirt poor in rural country poor, not poor, po, P-O, po. You know, he might even been so poor, might not even had one O. I mean, dirt road country poor. And I'm gonna tell you folks, I grew up on a dirt road. I know a little something about that. But, you know, the man, from everything the man has touched has turned to gold. Everything the man has touched, okay? His high school class voted him most likely to succeed. The man goes off, and he's a mathematician. We've never had a mathematician in the White House before. We had a bunch of lawyers, had a couple of businessmen, a couple of professors. You know, we've never had a mathematician. This is a mathematician. You know, the thing about math, folks, is that it's one of the hard sciences. 1 + 1 always equals 2. Now, the soft sciences, you got a lot of psychobabble that you can get a degree in nowadays. And anyone can get a degree. And some of these degrees are not worth the paper they're written on. But anyone that has a degree in a hard science, math, physics, you know, any of the hard sciences, if you're an engineer, you earned your degree, okay? If you're a medical doctor other than psychiatry, you've earned your degree. You got a lot of psychobabble in psychiatry. You know, what's in fashion, you know, now, 20 years from now will be disproven. Just a whole lot of psychobabble, but not so with mathematics. So this is a smart man, and he's applying this in munitions for the United States military, and then applying that math skill in the business world. In every company the man goes to, it's just like there's a rebound. And they send this man off to troubled units, and every troubled unit, the man turns it around. Okay, so I'm like, when Clinton had his scandal, which was a real scandal now, a real scandal, all right? Real sex with physical proof, okay? With human body fluid proof, okay? It just does not get any more slam bang proof than that, okay? But all these liberal media types and diehard Democrats, all they had to say was, oh, well, we don't care about the man's personal life. He's doing a good job for the country. Never mind the fact, folks, that it was Newt Gingrich, who was Speaker of the House at the time, that had the economy humming along nicely, because they finally put some teeth into some of the Ronald Reagan initiatives, because Reagan did what he could do with a Democrat Congress. But in '94, Newt Gingrich and the boys took over Congress, and they began to put teeth, real teeth, into a lot of what Reagan wanted to do. And so, of course, Clinton being president, just like with the Civil Rights Act of '64 and '65, okay, the Civil Rights Act and the Voting Rights Act, Republicans in the legislature do the deed, and the Democrat president, with the help of the media, jumps in front of the parade, beats his chest. Look what I have done. I'm a good American. I love my black folks. Okay? And he jumps in front of the parade, so the 1960s gets a repeat. In the 1990s, Bill Clinton, who had previously vetoed welfare reform, now when Republicans got a large enough majority where it was veto proof, okay, all of a sudden Bill Clinton had no choice. He had to sign the legislation. He was dragged kicking and screaming. He was dragged to it. But of course, when it was a big success, nobody died in the streets as Jesse Jackson and Al Sharpton predicted. No one died in the streets, okay? What happened was a whole lot of people got their dignity restored. And a whole lot of budgets around this nation, the national budget and a lot of state budgets, got not 100% corrected, but they got a little more in balance, okay? A little more in balance, because unfortunately Republicans only had control for 12 years, and it didn't take them those whole 12 years to start acting like Democrats. And once they started acting like Democrats, they got voted out. Because if people don't want a half a Democrat, if they believe in that crap, they can vote for the real thing. They can get 100% Democrat. I don't know why Republicans have not figured that out. You try to act like a Democrat. Why you want to act like a Democrat? You can't go but so far. You can't be but half of a Democrat. You give these people a little bit of that Democratic crap. If people want that crap, you have an opponent running as a Democrat. They'll just vote for him. Why would they vote for you if you call yourself a Republican? Okay? And so that's where we are again today, folks, with, Herman Cain's been smacked down. Newt Gingrich is up now. Still, people don't trust to think that Mitt Romney, who's had a position on both sides of almost every issue, although he's far superior in my book to Barack Obama. But people get a sense that this election cycle, we can have what we want. We don't have to take the little halfway Republican. We can go for the full, all the way conservative, because any of them can beat Obama. Herman Cain can beat him. Michelle Bachmann can beat him. Rick Santorum, who's at 2% among Republicans, could beat Barack Obama. Okay? Rick Perry can beat him. Newt Gingrich can beat him. Anybody can beat him, because they all are wanting to take the country to the right. And Barack Obama is wanting to take the country to the left. And in this particular era, to the left means more government control. It means more well-connected millionaires are going to be stealing their 60% of the overtaxation and dispersing 40% of it out in the form of a crumb here and a crumb there, And see, this is another thing too people don't think about. You might think, wow, 60-40, that's not bad. Maybe so the rich guy gets 60 and I get 40. And not I, Hatchet Man, you out there who's stupid enough to be living on the Democrats' plantation, who lack courage and character. That's you. That's not me, okay? So I used the wrong word there maybe. But people are getting the sense that folks know that mathematically it does not add up. It simply does not add up. And the 60% folks is not just that they're getting 20% more than the 40% folks, it's fewer of them. You got 20% of the people are gonna divide up the 60%, the bigger slice. But you got 80% of the people have to divide up the 40%. And really, it's only those at the bottom that really even get that. Those at the very bottom that get that. Because if you're in the middle class and if you're fairly self-sufficient, you know, other than maybe a deduction for your mortgage, or if you happen to have a small business, you get a few deductions for that. But you really don't get a whole lot. You really don't get a whole lot. People really need to do the math, you who are Democrats, and in your heart of hearts, you're really voting for freebies. You know, if you're old, you want your Social Security. If you're a homeowner, you want your mortgage deduction. If you're poor, you want your Section 8. You know, people want their freebies. That's what they want. They want to live at the expense of their fellow Americans. And so all this crap about the 99% and this Occupy crap, these are liars. These are liars. Occupy Wall Street. You know, I'll show them Occupy. I'm occupying Hall Street. I'm occupying your car. I'm occupying your home. I'm occupying your computer. And I'm occupying your mind right now. With your permission, of course.